venga por mí. Aquí lo espero en Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde.
Maduro, the communist leader of Venezuela, who I guess we're on the way to killing or something, forcing out, regime changing him. Maduro, most people didn't know this, whatever his many faults, has the most socially conservative country probably in the hemisphere. It's just a fact. I mean, I didn't make this up. I'm not in charge of Venezuela. Just noticing. Venezuela has banned banned abortion, banned gay marriage, banned sex changes, and banned usury. You don't have credit cards with 40% interest in Venezuela. Ben Shapiro responded this way.
He's shipping fentanyl to the United States to kill Americans. Why do I give a shit whether he's anti-LGBTQ rights?
Maduro's against Israel. Oh, okay. I don't give a shit. You spent like a decade pretending you did give a shit.
Okay, so I wanted to clarify some things that Tucker Carlson just said about what's being banned in Venezuela. He mentioned the abortion ban, which is largely illegal in Venezuela. The same-sex marriage is not legal in Venezuela, as the Constitution defines marriage as between a man and a woman, and there are no national laws recognizing same-sex unions or partnerships. When it comes to the pornography, there's not a legal ban blanket on all pornography, but it has significantly restricted access through targeted internet blocking and media regulations. And then for the usury, in January of this year, claims that Venezuela under Nicolas Maduro banned usury, the practice of charging excessive or illegal interest, became a viral topic of discussion on social media, often appearing alongside claims of bans on pornography and other socially conservative measures. While he has historically used usury as a legal justification for government intervention, there is no evidence of a total ban on the practice as of earlier this year. So I don't know if some conservatives like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and some other people out there are trying to basically say that there were still some good things happening in Venezuela, that the people in Venezuela that are cheering on Maduro's capture by the U.S. is a good thing. May not be a good thing for the actual people in Venezuela, because the things that they are restricted and banned there, such as abortion, are things that a majority of conservatives want here in America. You know, we have it mixed here in this country where we allow some states to, be able to have an abortion. And I know Candace Owens has mentioned that the main purpose of capturing Maduro is strictly to gain access to their oil. If that's the case, then that's not something with good intentions that America is doing. And American citizens shouldn't just be jumping the gun and cheering on President Trump just because we captured another leader in another country, thinking that it's a good thing. We need to sit down, really pay attention to what's been happening in Venezuela. And honestly, my opinion on this is we should not be in anybody's business right now. Venezuela, Israel, Ukraine, Russia, China, to anyone in this country. We needed to close the border, which we have, secure our nation. Now we stopped, many criminals and people that are coming into this country causing more chaos in our system of government. But when it comes to our system of government, we still have corruption within our own government. Now this needs to supersede all of the priorities that are taking place here in America. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below.
Moving moment by moment out of Venezuela. Venezuela. The de facto leader there has now, for the first time, appeared on camera, demanding the immediate release of Nicolas Maduro and his wife, calling their capture a kidnapping. Right now, meantime, Maduro, in that image, you see him. It was posted by President Trump. He is on his way to the United States to face drug trafficking charges in the Southern District of New York. Meanwhile, the vice president of Venezuela, Maduro's vice president, her name is Delcy Rodriguez. She just spoke. We've got the audio in now. I want to play for you what she just said to Trump.
We demand the immediate release of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, the only president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Coming out against Trump. And that
What?
is extremely significant.
That's all she said, huh? That's all she said. I like how this is why I don't pay attention to CNN, because they take 2 seconds of a clip and don't play the whole thing to find out exactly everything she said. That's not just the only thing she said, I'm pretty sure. And then they mentioned kidnapping. According to the definition, the action of abducting someone and holding them captive. We're not hiding him. We're not holding him captive. So there was a reward offer of up to $15 million for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Maduro in 2020. The Department of State on January 10th, 2025 increased the reward offer up to $25 million. On August 7th, 2025, the department announced the further increase to the reward of up to $50 million. He's being charged for narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import cocaine, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices. And many people out there are thinking, oh, we're just trying to make Venezuela, great again. No, it has to do with them, attacking the United States of America. And President Trump has said this, that anybody that's going to be messing with the United States is going to be feeling the wrath of our military.
I wonder, Mr. President, though, I want to ask you because from your vice president, J.D. Vance, said that the message is pretty clear. The drug trafficking must stop. So was this operation a message that you're sending to Mexico, to Claudia Sheinbaum, the president there?
Well, it wasn't meant to be, and we're very friendly with her. She's a good woman, but the cartels are running Mexico. She's not running Mexico. The cartels are running Mexico. And we could be politically correct and be nice and say, oh, yes, she is. No, she's very, she's very frightened of the cartels. They're running Mexico. And I've asked her numerous times, would you like us to take out the cartels? No, Mr. President. No, please. So we have to do something because we lost. The real number is 300,000 people, in my opinion. They like to say 100,000. 100,000 is a lot of people, but the real number is 300,000 people, and we lost it to drugs, and they come in through the southern border, mostly the southern border. Plenty come in through Canada, too, by the way, in case you don't know.
Well, Whit, I think we have to go back to just those scenes in Caracas with U.S. helicopters, Chinook helicopters, and attack helicopters sweeping over the city. Those explosions, likely at airfields and military facilities, and Delta Force, that elite Delta Force going in and grabbing Maduro and his wife in the dead of night. You can imagine they were probably asleep. And how this operation was carried out exactly, we do not know. They were clearly well prepared. They knew exactly where to find Maduro and his wife. We are told by sources that the CIA had perfect intelligence as to where they were, and that clearly was the case since they did capture them. We also don't know whether others were involved on the ground, whether the CIA perhaps had assets, whether he called in and said, I'm going to surrender. We do not know those details at this point, but Delta Force had a successful mission. They went in, they grabbed Maduro. Whether he surrendered or not, we do not know, but it certainly did seem a great surprise. And with those military assets, it tells you that Maduro did not know what was coming, and he was flown out of the country. I think it's highly unlikely there are still forces on the ground. Generally, these missions are done, and the Delta Force and the others are out of there. But those scenes from Caracas and those explosions and the smoke rising from that city are remarkable indeed.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious, because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland.
We've been getting so many conflicting reports here in America about whether it was a good thing or a bad thing getting Maduro, because there's people that are protesting at the White House, in front of the White House, saying, you know, Trump decided to do this so we could basically go steal oil from Venezuela. And then you got people on the other side saying, oh no, this is good that we did it. Now we're really stopping, you know, any type of illegal contraband coming into America. Now people here in America are complaining, and they're out there with their signs and whatever, but then you see videos of, you know, the Venezuelan citizens cheering and being happy and grateful that President Trump, you know, went in there and grabbed him. Apparently there was an unfair election that he got reelected again, and this is why they had enough and they were marching the streets. Well, a lot of the things that are happening there sound very similar to what's been happening here in America with unfair elections, the corruption, things that, you know, a lot of people agree and disagree on when it comes to major subjects like abortion, same-sex marriages, I mean, immigration, everything. We're all having the same type of problems, and people are going to agree or disagree. But in this sense, I believe, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good idea. I think we need to stay out of people's business, because the more we get into other people's business and keep pushing and poking in all these different countries, this is how you start waking other countries up to saying, hey, we're getting sick and tired of the United States doing this. We need to start coming together, and this is how wars start to develop. Because people get to a boiling point and call it, okay, that's enough. And something else I thought of, if people try to look at things in a different perspective. Now, if somebody were to come to America at night and somehow capture President Trump and take him to their country, and then hear the president at that country say, oh, we'll be running the United States until we find another leader for a smooth transition. How would the American people feel, knowing we still have J.D. Vance, having other people in power here in our country? Why would we want to wait for another country to? I mean, this is looking at it in a different perspective, but and I'm not in Venezuela. I don't know exactly all the politics that go there. I mean, I barely know what's going on here in America, because there's so many politicians that try to do the right thing, and there's also politicians that are corrupt and do the wrong things. So it's like we have to pay attention to as much as we can in what's happening in this country, and make the best judgment on who we vote for to make sure they are actually looking out for the American people. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Till next time, peace out, everybody. This one's for Charlie.